But yes, alright, so I can change spells around now if we ended the day. Be-do-do.
Yeah, you will definitely have time to do that. So holler at me, guys, if my signal gets choppy or something. I've got a new modem and Wi-Fi adapter and everything, so haven't adjusted the settings or anything. So hopefully I can come through pretty good the whole sesh. But if not, holler at me. I may disconnect and reconnect again.
Alrighty, brother.
All right. Well, everybody is assembled thusly, so let's get over this recap. Last session began deep within Nightwood, the treehouse jungle village of Xanathia, in early morning. While most of the party awoke in Loreley's home, woke to fresh baked goods, a pot of tea, a large wandering squirrel, others parted with their company and made their way back to the humble homestead from their rented room. The party reunites after an evening of revelry and getting deep into their cups, and not long after, Zeriotal arrives as well, a few parcels from Brightwood in hand. He gets right down to business, providing parchment after parchment of notes and research to verify his thoughts on the matter at hand. Much dialogue was had, but in the end, Zeriotal's request was straightforward. Purify the nearby temple to the god of roads. Doing this will likely end Nerul's blessing, a curse afflicting Xanathia and its residents, and nearby flora and fauna as well. Also, the particular portal needed to enter the Fey realm to locate Logos's father is located within said temple. Using this portal gives the party the best chances to find the trail of Logos's missing father. After some planning, pranking, and resource gathering, a quick reunion between Logos and Tardok, a giant illusion, some shady purchases, salt and birdhouses, a promised crossbow enchantment, and even a split in two jaguar seeping black ichor later, the party finds that they have had quite an eventful day already, yet as dusk approaches in the already darkened Nightwood, that is where we are now. So you guys find yourselves sitting around Loreley's humble home while Zeriotal and her go over all of his paperwork and research for what must be the 7th or 8th time. And as they kind of once again kind of go over everything, Zeriotal, turning to the party, kind of reveals his hand in a sense. He turns to you all and says, well, as you know, I have been promoted. I am no longer in the law enforcement sector of where I was previously serving in the realm of dragons. But I do have a request now that I am in a different department, we'll say. Sons of Justice, I know that you will seek out Lagos in the Feywild. I only ask that not that you slay this shadow dragon. You need not even do battle with it. I have 5,000 platinum coins that I am willing to deliver anywhere in Daanal Wisech. Should you bring me information of this dragon's whereabouts at any point in your journeys, it's no longer a find and eradicate measure. If the dragon still lives, and if it is in the Feywild, and if you can locate it, this information is quite valuable to my uppers. So, throughout all of this, consider 5,000 platinum coins It's quite the purse, even for, you know, a handful of you to split.
Oh yeah, I know. I like that amount.
Yeah, all we gotta do is tell tell you where we see him, and
We have no information. We've been battling this particular dragon for over 100 years. It has bested the Shades Avian multiple times, and now both the dragon and Shades Avian are gone. We have deemed it a bit too dangerous to send mortals in directly. Information is needed, and so I would actually encourage you not to engage this dragon if you find it. Just report back, and we will see what the realm of dragons governing bodies have to say.
Well, 5,000 coin for just knowing the location of a dragon. That seems like a pretty decent bargain. So I'm sure we'll find your lizard while we're down there. Or in there. I Feywild's a strange place. I don't quite understand where it is.
yeah, no, I think you might be mixing up the Underdark. Underdark is town. Well, is the Underdark town? You know what? I don't even know either. Yeah, it could be in there, over, down, up. I don't know.
We'll leave the thinking to the smart one. And he kind of just like nods over at Locris.
Blade nods his head.
The Underdark is on this realm. Shadow Realm is essentially next door, but a lot grungier. It's going through its emo phase. And the Feywild is a 3-year-old who's been given too much coffee in the morning and sugar. On the other side of the house, though.
Yeah, that's basically what I said. Right, Romick?
Yeah, I mean, Locris was just able to put it in terms that were easier to absorb.
All right, so should we be off to this uh temple and figure out what the fuck these priests are doing and how we can stop this blight and find the dragon and save Lokes' dad? And man, we got a long list.
Yes, our to-do list has gotten quite long again. But we do have a tendency to check quite a few things off in quite a small amount of time, and there's a lot of coin to be made, so best to make haste. Was there anything else we need to stock up on? Anybody else need potions or anything on the way out of town?
Lorelei will kind of mention Renwick that she needs at least until morning if you would like your crossbow to be enchanted properly.
Yes. Would anybody like to go to the store now so that we're ready to leave first thing in the morning? Because
So
Dakota was
this
scanning his notes and couldn't find that section that talked about when the crossbow would be ready.
okay, this is still the night before. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
No, this is like afternoon. You guys have wasted, or dusk rather. You know, it is just about evening on the second day.
yeah, I mean, Renwick, if you're trying to search around these shops to see if we can find anything fancy and helpful for this trip, I'm down to go with you.
I just have a very short shopping list, so for sake of brevity, I mean, we just need to swing by somewhere, see if we can find some more scrolls of restoration and maybe a couple healing scrolls and some potions, because something tells me we're going to take quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm looking forward to is healing potions, any spell scrolls that may be useful.
Lorelei kind of cuts you off at that point, and she says, "Well, darling, we've got quite an apothecary or two around here, but as far as scrolls of restoration, I could set them to working on more, but that's about what I gave you is about all that was available. However, if you have 2 or 3 days, we could probably get a few more out to you."
Uh, I think we'll be all right with the scrolls. Definitely maybe hit up those apothecaries and see if there's any healing potions of the sort.
Absolutely, you should. I encourage it. There are many talented apothecaries in the area. The jungle provides.
The only thing Locris, and only because I just recently thought of it, he'd be on the look for like an amulet of, I guess, illusion, not for himself, but when finally gets the chance to animate dead and gets his walking zombie, but like for it to not look like a zombie.
Okay, wait, say that one more time?
So I'm looking for an amulet of illusion. However, I don't want it for Locris, so it's not like I'm trying to get a magic item for him. Uh, One of the Eldritch invocations I took allows me to cast Animate Dead every day once, and it lasts for 24 hours. So when we finally kill somebody, he's going to raise the dead and make that his servant, basically. So I just want to find a way to make him look normal to other people instead of a walking zombie with gashes and blood dripping.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent request. Here, let me write this down so I can. All right, so.
And I will be honest that Locris isn't going to take it further on and use it for himself. But I'm not going to abuse the goodwill.
I believe you had an ability originally that allowed you to do something like that to yourself, anyways, right? Yeah, you may have tossed it out for others, but
Yeah, mask of many faces.
let's see. Let me just leave it to the dice, man. You know what I mean? I'll say that such an artifact can definitely be found. You may have to do a bit of trading for it. This illusory artifact. We'll call it a bracelet of concealing. And it does just that. It allows you a once per day use of 8 hours worth of like the alter self spell. So you could potentially alter the looks of your zombie brethren for up to 8 hours a day.
Okay.
That will run you 200 gold pieces and or about 45 chickens.
Will they accept 3 ravens and 175 gold?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
11.
11 is enough. They, great heroes of the realm. They're happy to accommodate. He takes your deal.
I'll take out the hat of vermin and pull out the birds through there.
I was wondering what you were going to do. Okay, perfect. Yeah. They're happy to collect these animals. Renwick, holler at me if my stuff goes sour, guys. Let's see. The scrolls of lesser and greater restoration have already kind of been tapped for the area. However, if you would like to purchase, say, like some potions or something, the apothecaries are, very proficient in and around the area, particularly with healing potions. But as far as scroll work, Lorelei is the kind of the lead on that, and she's using most of her ability to suppress the symptoms in the village.
No worries. If I can't find the lesser and greater restorations, would I still be able to look around? I'm guessing we'd be able to pick up like more health or like healing potions, even if the or well, would the shit no. Yeah. Can we just look for healing stuff then? Even if the lesser and greater restorations are tapped, I feel like just having a few extra healing scrolls would be ideal, or if not, potions. Either way, I just need to know pricing and I'll math it up for you.
Okay, so I mean, like I said, scrolls are kind of limited, but there are, roughly a dozen spell scrolls of just the standard cure light wounds. Those would be available, and those run 70 gold pieces each. And on top of that, there are as many standard healing potions as you care to buy at the standard 50 each. But there is also no shortage of greater healing potions. There are roughly a dozen of those as well, should you want to purchase them. And because of them being like vastly in supply, the price is pretty cheap. They're an even hundo in this neck of the woods. So 100 gold pieces for a greater, and you have about a dozen you could purchase right now.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and purchase a dozen.
I'll chip in for half of those. I'll put in 600,
Okay.
and then we can just split those 12 throughout the group. I have one already that uh, Lorelei gave us, so I can take
Yeah,
a little less than everyone else.
yeah, we'll divvy it up in chat just to make sure everybody's loaded up.
All right, but yeah, I'll chip in 600 for those.
All right. And cool. Um,
After the potion transaction, you are handed two eggs and a rooster.
I will accept the 2 eggs and a rooster. And I will curtsy.
The gentleman you're doing business with bows his head and smiles. Yeah.
All right, should we head back to the rest of the group, get a good night's rest, and set off in the morning?
I think we shall. Hey, while it's just you and I here, did you happen to notice that Blade got a letter? Uh, he tucked it away. He didn't bring it back up.
Yeah, I did see that. I just got so distracted by the hot sauce that I just completely forgot about it.
Well, he's been awful secretive lately, or really just since we've known him.
Lately.
And he's now getting letters in towns we've never been to before, and that's concerning considering we're about to go into a bit of a temple that could more than likely kill at least one of us. Do you think we should address that, or I could just lift it? He like wiggles his gloves he picked up. I think in the last town he has gloves of thievery. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, gloves of thievery.
Well, maybe we don't go directly towards stealing from our friend, but let's start with asking him about it. See if he wants to be open and forthright, and if he's acting a little shifty about the letter, then maybe he falls asleep and you trip and your hand falls into his pocket, and oh no, there's a letter.
Wouldn't be the first time.
But wait, what
Well,
else? Who else have you stolen from? It was me, wasn't
maybe.
it?
Can I retroactively see if I could have lifted his coin purse like Logus always does to him?
To Gladier.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you've got him in conversation. I'll give you a shot, Gladier. I think your passive's only like what 11, so I'll let
Yeah.
you roll against it since you.
What's your passive?
My passive perception is 11.
Oh, well, I rolled a 3, but that's still a 13.
So
Yes.
it still beats your passive. Go ahead and roll a perception check, Gladier.
Child could steal from Gladier.
You just need to beat a 13.
I rolled a 13 on the die plus 1 for perception.
I thought you were gonna have a -1. I was gonna cry.
Oh, that's funny. Gladier, you catch him last second. Renwick fully has your coin purse in his hand and looks to be like actively weighing it, like almost like determining, like, how much gold is really in here. But you do notice that, he has a firm grasp on your coin purse.
I snatch it back and give him like a playful punch on the shoulder. All right, yeah, that's
He
a.
falls over because you're 4 times his size.
Oh shit! Sorry, my bad. Sometimes I forget how small you are. Pick him up and set him on his feet. All right, let's go. Let's go have that talk with Blade and see what's going on.
Well,
Maybe
it's
it's a
probably best
low.
we gather everybody. Don't want to have this conversation twice.
Speaking of perception checks, do they see Archie up in the tree watching this whole conversation?
Oh god damn it!
Oh man, I don't think Logos is there, so I'm gonna say probably not. Archie is one of many critters in and around the area.
What is Archie in the shape of
My
right now?
my passive perception is 20, for what it's worth.
Oh
God damn!
I'm
well.
joking.
Okay.
I'm not that smart.
Or is
Archie's still watching the shed that Gladier like left yesterday morning or some shit.
He's still watching the boat that Arthur is on.
Oh yeah.
Aw. There's no boat anymore. Sean
Oh,
burned
that's
it.
right.
yes? I think Renwick and I would join back up with the rest of the group and see what everyone else is doing.
Well, for as the night officially takes hold, Lorelei lays out a spread for everyone. She gives, she puts out a lot of dried fruits and nuts and various natural things. She cooks like a bit of bread here and there, some fresh baked bread and rolls for the party. But for the most part, she just kind of continues to go over parchments with Zeriotal. Like she's very interested in his research, and she's like for the 12th time today, she's like going over all the information she could possibly have. That being said, a spread is laid out for you guys, and her and Zeriotal kind of talked hushedly in the corner.
Locris is digging in and kind of eavesdropping on their conversation.
She seems particularly disturbed about the crystal and how to destroy it. Zeriotal has already kind of mentioned, you need to do something to, like, it's like the power source that would be causing this sickness, and that's the particular topic they're going back and forth about. But essentially, there is a large purple crystal that is like the anchor and power source for this like sickness that seems to be affecting this curse that affects the local area. Zeriotal kind of, reassures her that things are going to be okay. You can kind of tell that she is nervous and uncomfortable with the whole situation, but her hands are kind of tied. She doesn't really have a choice, and you guys succeeding is kind of like one of her last hopes for this to be resolved. She's kind of at her wit's end.
He'll just note it and continue munching.
Glader's gonna kind of like trying to be nonchalant, but very the opposite of that as he like picks up like and he like goes out and like grabs a couple slices of cheese, maybe some meats, and just kind of like walks over and sits down next to Blade, just being like, "Hey, friend. So I just had a quick question. Yeah, nothing serious. Do you have a second?
No, you're not going to talk about God, are you?
Which one? Oh, but Dad,
Oh,
no, it's not. No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What's up, Gladia?
So me and the fellas, we're just a little curious. I mean, I understand it could maybe be a private matter, but remember when Zeriotol brought me that hot sauce and also handed you a letter, and then you kind of put the letter away and then didn't really tell anyone what it was about? And yeah, we were just curious what the letter was.
Um, well, to be honest with you, I haven't even read it. Um, Blade's going to pull out kind of the parcel and take a glance over it.
It is this. It's a pretty standard envelope, but it is stamped and sealed with the Royal Elven blue wax with the Royal Elven seal. It's kind of fancy. It stands out amongst standard post.
Seems pretty fancy. Must be important. But you want to know?
But I mean, just a little curious.
Fine, fine. Blade will go ahead and open up the letter, kind of check it out. He won't like outwardly read it, but he'll keep it to himself.
You're just so mysterious.
Okay, so as you kind of peruse this letter, Blade, let me roll a dice real quick. Okay. So this letter is about 3 or 4 pages long, and the first 3 pages, front and back, are terrible, terrible poetry. Like, just not great. Amateur at best. Amateur would be generous. Not only that, but these papers are in like the parchments are in like bad shape. They look like to be crumpled and then uncrumpled and then recrumpled. You're pretty sure there's like several wine stains on these on this poetry, and this poetry is very heavily focused on the sun and the moon for whatever reason, and it's terrible grammar. Lots of it is like crossed out. It's not spelled correctly in a lot of it, and it's just kind of a garbled mess of terrible poetry. But the very last page is something legible, and it is a note from Svelicin. It says, "My dearest Blade, I know your work takes you on the road. I hope this finds you well. Do you perhaps have an address or a place you would like me to send one of the most unique instruments ever created in Brightwood? Please reply. Tell me as quick as you can, and I will send a courier the same day."
Blade just kind of leans back, kind of widens his eyebrows, shocked at just how bad the poetry is. It's like, oh, man, I can really see why this guy really thinks I'm a god when it comes to musicianship. And he'll hand the poetry over to the to Gladiator and be like, maybe it's just not my style. Maybe you'll dig it.
Renwick just looks up at Gladiator and like punches him in the arm, and he's like, "You see, I told you we had nothing to worry about. Blade's an honest enough guy. We didn't have to ask him about the letter." And he looks back at Blade and is like, "He insisted. He said you've been a little shady lately."
What? That's not
You know,
entirely true.
Now,
that
don't
makes
dig that
sense.
hole any further.
Remember that game we all played and Gladia killed me?
Yeah, I
He's
do.
kind of had it out for me.
You know, we were all hesitant, and he kind of just stabbed you for no reason.
Very surprising.
That was not my fault. There was a crazy trickster, demigod, god, whatever the hell he was, messing with our heads. That doesn't count. And I apologize already.
No, it's fair. You've made it right. Basically, this letter, this well thought, written letter, is ultimately, I guess. Do you guys remember that instrument that I had commissioned out for Svelson?
Oh shit, is it ready?
I guess so. He says it's one of the finest looking instruments of all of Brightwood.
Well, hell, we gotta figure out how to get it over here.
Bit of a shame we couldn't have that before we go into the temple full of evil druids or clerics or magic
Well,
wielders.
and then Logus will kind of direct this. Zeriotal, is there like a time crunch on this, or can we afford to wait a couple days for this? You know, maybe perhaps let Blade's new weapon get here in time.
Zeriotal kind of he shifts uncomfortably, and he says, "To be honest with you, it's very possible we're already 2 or 3 weeks too late. So you better be ready for that when you venture there."
Exactly. So what's a couple more days? I mean, we could all pick up shifts to kind of, you know, help with the thing, maybe in the perimeter, just kind of protecting it while we wait, kind of let the time pass for a couple of days, and Blade, you can get your weapon.
I mean, I think it is. We could swing it. It sounds like this is priority here, and he's going to look at Zeriodal and be like, is there a way that we can get a courier to Svelison?
Absolutely. We can. There are many useful critters here in the jungle. Pen a message, and I'll have a bird to take it at once. You know, may take a day or two to reach Brightwood, but it'll make it.
Logus will look to his mother. Mom, do you have maybe this a way to get him more quickly or know of a way, maybe a spell of sorts?
Give me just a sec. I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect real quick.
And just tell him to find a wizard who knows Galder Speedy Courier, which is a small air elemental that carries a chest, and he could put stuff in the chest and it automatically comes to you. As long as it's 3 feet by 3 feet.
That's a nifty spell.
This is like fucking FedEx overnight.
Okay,
Dang.
hopefully my connection's a little better. Holler at me if it's not.
It's more like Amazon Instant, bro. That shit pops in your hand.
Yeah, so Lorelei kind of ponders for a moment, and she does have the ability to tree stride, but her powers, unfortunately, to do things like that are kind of limited to places she's familiar with, and she's kind of been bound to Nightwood for at least the last couple hundred years, so she could get you to the edge of the canyon that you would need to cross to get back to Brightwood. I think you guys could probably, between the lot of you, it is likely you guys can just fly across the canyon at this point.
Blade, my mother could get you to the edge of the canyon, and we could wait there, and you could just fly across on your angelic donkey.
Did you
We can
find
get
Black Cat last night? Or do you still gotta look some more? Now you gotta go in the ocean and look for him. Huh? Maybe he's in an underwater world.
Chris, you're
And that's
unmuted.
why.
I thought he was talking to me, bro.
I did too. I was like,
Oh, I definitely was.
it made sense for like the first
I
5
know.
words.
I was like Blackwoods, underwater world. I'm so confused.
Dude, my backstory is crazy.
I mean, theoretically, we could get you to the edge of the canyon, and you could fly across so Svelicin can meet you there. I mean, I do want us to be as strong as we can be before entering the Feywild. I mean, something tells me we're gonna need this.
Hmm. Well, I mean, honestly, how long is it going to take to survey this cathedral or church, whatever it is?
I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna take. It depends how bad it is. Maybe a couple hours, could be a couple days. I mean, it depends really. I mean, the temple's at least an hour or two from here.
Yeah, I doubt we're gonna, just finish this battle against these blighted priests and then hop right into the Feywild. Like, or is that the plan? Or I was hoping maybe we get the fight, knock out this shit, and then take a little nap or something first.
Oh, you're hoping to see Zatar before we left Gladia?
I'm hoping to just not almost die and then go into the Feywild where I could most certainly die without, at least a one night's sleep.
You know, I forgot to tell you this, but when I was with Tardak last night, she mentioned you. She said that Zatar was pretty fond of you.
I mean, yeah, that's cool. Whatever.
Do
Oh,
dragonborns blush?
No, I have scales.
he's a red dragonborn.
Perception check. See if he blushes.
I literally can't.
I think I saw it.
Like you saw it, Blade, right? A little red tint on his golden scales.
Oh, yeah, I definitely saw it.
Is his tail wagging right now? Oh wait, you don't have a tail. That's right.
Ah, fuck off. All right, so what's the plan?
All right. My gut feeling is I feel like we should just send a courier out to Felicin. If I had imagined, unless this place, this church, whatever it is, where all these cultists are, is a fucking mile deep with dungeons, we'll be out of there in probably 45 minutes, yeah?
Uh,
Probably not.
Sorry, Lorelei confirms this. She is She says that the temple itself is only a handful of rooms, 7, maybe 8 total. I've never been in all of them, but I've been in a few.
All right. Well, if at all possible, Zariel, if you could arrange a courier to send a letter out immediately to Svelison in Brightwood.
Zeriotal slides you a parchment and an ink and inkwell and says, "Pen your message, and I will have it sent." And he, with like a wave of his hand and some weird golden energy kind of flows off of his eyes, a golden eagle just kind of manifests and prepares to take your message.
Blade grabs the parchment and begins to write on it. It says, Svelison, if you'd care to listen, please listen to my tale. I'm not far away. Well, actually, scratch that. And then I'll kind of scratch it. I'll be like make it look sloppy. I'm like, I'm sorry, do you have another one?
He rolls his eyes and then slides you yet another piece of parchment.
Felison, I hope this letter finds you well. Thank you for reaching out to me as soon as this order was completed. We are located at, and I'm going to look at Zeriodal and be like, is there like an address here? Where the fuck are we?
Xanaphia under the care of Lorelei should do the trick.
He'll hand it to Zeriodal and be like, can you just write that? I can't.
He pens it for you and fastens this parchment to the eagle, and through some sort of telepathic means kind of directs him kind of where to go. And the eagle takes flight out the window that Cookies the squirrel had broke earlier.
Thank you, Zeriodal. I greatly appreciate it.
He kind of bows. He's like, happy to be of service, Master Silverstring. And he kind of turns back to Lorelei, who's got a handful of these parchments and is kind of like talking more details kind of about the curse, like side effects, any known remedies, etc., etc.
All right. Well, if we don't have anything else going on, I think I might get some shut eye before our adventures tomorrow.
Isn't it like early night right now?
Yeah, I mean, night has officially come, so it's probably somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock. It's not super late, but yeah, the stars are out, the crickets are chirping.
Oh,
Oh, great,
Christ.
dear. Great, dear. This could be, it's always, whenever we go on these missions, it could always be our last. Like, I think we kind of take that for granted. I don't think this is a time to get an early sleep. I think we should hit up the bar. What do y'all think? What was the bar's name? Mike's or Sam's or something like that?
Your mom kind of stops what she's doing with Zeriotal and sends you like a death glare. She's like, son, I know you done had your fun in the last couple of days, but it ain't smart to go into a situation like this hungover. You better know what you're doing. And from what I could tell, you might like your liquor a little too much. You better make it an hour or two tops. You better not shut down the bar again.
Logus will get like red face and be like, Mom, I always remember Dad going out with his friends before a big mission. It's like bonding to get the group together, like to get close. It's not necessarily about getting drunk.
And look where it got him, Logus.
Yeah, he was like the greatest adventurer that Nightwoods had ever seen.
Who we haven't seen in years.
But he went missing, doing what he was meant to do and protecting us. Whatever. And Logus will storm off to his room.
Laura Lee
Throw a
gets
little
all
fit.
flustered and starts like she's really putting it on like some cookie dough in the kitchen. Like she's working this dough to like make some cookies, and she grabs it and throws it on the counter and starts giving it like 1-2 like haymaker punches as she's kind of upset and starts taking it out on something else.
And Logus will shout from his room, "If y'all go out, y'all better tell me." And then he'll close his door.
Zeriotal very quietly and stealthily behind Lorelei's back pulls out what appears to be a copper flask and takes a real big swig of it before putting it back, hiding it back inside his flowing copper robe.
And while he's in his room, waiting, I don't know if I said it last session, I can't remember, but I did want to take a moment to attune to that oath bow that Zerioltal gave me. I can't remember if I did it, so I just want to
Okay,
make
for
sure.
sure. It's not long before the upstairs portion of your humble home is not really that big. Just a couple of bedrooms. Yours kind of next to your parents, and that's kind of after she throws a batch of cookies in the oven, she kind of stomps off up to her quarters, and she doesn't close the door or anything. She's not shy about it, but she's absolutely doing a ritual while Cookies the squirrel runs amok. And this ritual is some sort of lots of symbolism, glowing runes kind of float around the room, but this ritual seems to be centered on Renwick's crossbow. And essentially, this is probably going to take Lorelei until morning. So she is kind of in her element, but unavailable for at least the next few hours. So as the evening kind of presses on, tell me how you guys kind of proceed. What do you guys do from here?
Once his mom is busy in her room, Logus will kind of sneak out and see what the group is doing to see if anybody's down to go to the bar. Hey, Renwick, are you sleeping?
No, I was about to polish my rapier, but what can I do you for?
I don't know if that's an innuendo of some kind, but
It
I was
was.
in my mom's house, Renwick,
Oh, don't act like you haven't done it yourself.
when I was younger.
What? Well,
How
actually,
about
now that I think about it, you don't have a rapier, so
you still have to polish your bow? But how about we go to the bar to see if we can find you a female friend instead?
well, I suppose I haven't had as much fun as I'd like to with the old right hand. And he just looks at the squirming tentacles. But that being said, we do have a bit of a big day. So, on behalf of the DM, not having another session where we just fuck around, let's make it quick.
And then we just montage a night of buffoonery at the bar.
Yeah.
Just me and Renwick for some reason. The others didn't wake up.
Yeah, no, it's the montage of like Renwick and Logus like partying and going crazy, and then it switches back to Glader like asleep in an armchair in front of a fireplace, snoring loudly.
Before sleep, Locris would attune to the cauldron, taking off the gauntlets, so that he had a greater healing potion in the morning, and then reattune to the gauntlets in the morning. And that's going to be his practice every night.
Ah, very clever. Always have a greater healing potion on you. Alright, so, as you guys kind of gain your long rest, some of you wake up in Lorelei's house. Others wake up, face deep in orc tits. But
What?
So I guess we'll have to do this in order. As
Did you just say face deep in orc tits?
oh
Is
yeah,
that-
for sure.
Renwick, you dog.
You find Renwick coming out of one of these nearby sheds as well, hair amiss, as he's like still trying to put his boots on as he's like trying to get out the door early in the morning.
So Renwick, how you feeling, buddy? That was some night.
Quite frankly, I haven't had a night like that in a while. I was due for one. I feel wonderful. I think if there was any alcohol in my body that leave me hungover today, I probably sweated it out. It was quite the evening.
Yeah, boy, what that tentacle do, right? And I'll give him a high five in his tentacle hand. All right, yep. My mom was right though. Oh, all right, let's go.
Yeah,
Go get some breakfast.
I'm gonna make a quick stop at the bathhouse on the way over to the house. I don't want people to smell me like this.
Oh, you know what? That's a fucking great idea. Let's go sweat out this alcohol before my mom yelled at me. We'll just say we woke up early, went to the bathhouse. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right.
As you guys hit the bathhouse and clean up and discover a plethora of bite marks and hickeys you didn't know how they got there, we're going to turn over to the rest of the party. So, once again, the smell of cinnamon and nutmeg, some cookies kind of wakes you. And if it isn't the scent of these fresh baked cookies, it is Cookies the squirrel smashing pots off of countertops and things in his frantic race to get to the cookies before anyone else. And as you guys kind of come to, and she provides you guys some tea and some breakfast, and before long, the rest of your party arrives as well. Logos and Renwick looking pretty fresh and clean, freshly bathed, smelling nice.
Morning, gentlemen. Long night.
Oh, just an early morning. Woke up, figured we'd, go for a bit of a jog, stop off at the bathhouse, be nice and fresh for the journey. You lot just wake up.
Insight check.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you want me to roll? Deception? Yeah.
Yeah, deception
make
for
sense.
sure. Yeah.
All right, let's go with the metal die.
Could I give him advantage by kind of like backing up his story?
I'm gonna say Locris does probably would see through your bullshit. So
Yeah, my charisma's pretty shit. I'll probably just stay quiet so I don't ruin it.
Locris knows things that he don't even know why he knows it.
He does have the forbidden knowledge. I guess this could be considered part of it.
I got a
14.
15 insight.
Oh, damn you, 14.
Oh, they're lying. Locris, you for sure see fresh hickeys on both Renwick and Logos.
I'll just kind of nod, walk over, and I'll just kind of whisper in Logos's ear as I walk by. You might want to go put a little makeup on your neck. and then just keep walking.
Renwick looks up at Logus and just says, "Wear it like a badge of honor." And he just like undoes his top button of his shirt and then sits down and grabs a coffee or whatever's available.
I rolled a 5 on insight, so Glader just kind of like huffs, "Man, why didn't you guys come get me? I love the bathhouses."
You're like shocked that your friends got up and went and like worked out early in the morning and without you. It's like rude.
I love working out and going to the bathhouse. You could have invited me or whatever. Fuck. And just grumbles and eats his cookies.
Renwick, it's around after a cup of tea and a cookie and a quick spell or two to repair some flower pots. Lorelei presents your crossbow to you, and it is a little different. While it still maintains a lot of the gold filigree, a lot of what was once kind of an ivory handle has now gotten to like a grained red woodish color. And she presents your crossbow back to you. The enchantment, giving it, moving it from a +1 to a +2, but also it is no longer just the crossbow of Yondala, as Yondala's fruitful horn, holy symbol, is kind of mixed with Elana's, this woodland goddess. And it is now the crossbow of the twin goddess. And not only is it a +2 crossbow with all of the original properties that the Yondala blessing afforded you, you can also, once this item is attuned, you have access to the Druid Craft cantrip, as if it were in your spell slots or whatever.
God damn. That is sick, and he'll take it and I imagine admire it, maybe like aim at something across the room to kind of sight it in and then fit it on his wrist like he has all this time, and just like admire the craftsmanship. And you see him like kind of well up a little bit, and he just says, I've never seen anything quite like this. This is incredible. I can't thank you enough. I'm sure it'll keep us safe in whatever it is we're about to face. But I assure you, for what you've done here, I'll be sure that your son makes it back to you.
She smiles and nods. She says, "May Alana bless you." And it is about this time that a loud boom, boom, boom hits the door. It startles everyone. Cookies the squirrel grabs a handful of cookies and bails, just runs upstairs and hides quickly, impressively so. But Lorelei, with concern, immediately moves to the door and opens it. And it's Tardok. Tardok looks a bit disheveled. She might have had a late night, but she straightens up as Lorelei answers, and she says, "We have a problem. We need you." And she nods, and Lorelei nods, and neither of them acknowledge the rest of you. They just both leave and start walking down one of these rope bridges.
Should we follow them or sit on our asses?
Oh, I'm already suited up, so might as well. And he'll just pop up and grab his gear.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
So as you guys kind of follow these two, they lead you below the village. This village is suspended in the trees, and below the medicine tree, in particular, Tardok leads Lorelei, and she points to the ground. There's a trail here. We followed it. We could not. The perimeter guard did not detect these leaving, but they went in the direction of the temple. And she kind of, Lorelei looks really concerned, and she says, "Who? What?" She says, Tarduk kind of shrugs, and she says, three of the guard, three of your men that you took to the temple. Well, you better see for yourself." And Tarduk whistles, and an orc high in the trees throws down a rope bridge from the medicine tree, and the two of them, and I assume the party, kind of make their way up and into the medicine tree. And it's a ruckus. Like, there are several people trying to calm some of the patients, but a lot of the patients are upset. Some of them are insisting that they want to leave. Some of them are not capable, but try to anyway. And, it's kind of like a mess. But as, the presence of Lorelei just kind of seems to calm everyone when they see her. Everyone stops what they're doing to watch her. As her and Tarduk descend into the medicine tree, they descend to this room and pull back a curtain. And on 3 tables are 3 wood elven warriors. Some of the guards, some of these people that Lorelei had fought with, first kind of assaulted the temple with. Similar to her, they have these creeping veins of black that looked like even though these people are dead, these creeping black veins still continue to undulate. They still continue to pulse. And these people are dead as you look at them, because there is like a major chest wound on all 3 of them. Each and every single one, you can see like ribs exposed. It looks like 3 identical wounds on these 3 warriors. And Lorelei kind of looks and is just distraught. She kind of holds her hand to her mouth, and she kind of looks over these guys, and she's clueless and worried. Clearly, she's trying to put it together, but still missing a piece of the puzzle somewhere. Tarduk pipes up. Well, whatever did this left a track of their blood. Left it out of the medicine tree, into the jungle, and out of the perimeter of Xanathia in the direction of the temple. So we may be able to track it. The trail is still fresh.
Logus will pipe up. I can pretty confidently track this thing, if that's our intention here, fellas.
Well, if it came from or it's heading toward that temple, then it seems like it's the right way to go. And that trail's not going to stay fresh for long.
Well, I might be able to get a couple more details about what attacked them if everybody's willing.
Yeah, Locris, see what you can see here. I'm gonna go make sure that I can find these tracks. And Locus will kind of just like look in the direction it went and just get eyes on the footprint so I know which way we're gonna head out.
Okay, give me a survival check there, Logos, as you kind of track this trail.
That's a 28 total.
Okay, with a 28, this trail is easy to find. There's a big blood splatter at each of the beds where this kind of went down, and though the trail leads you out of the medicine tree and over the railing down to the jungle floor about 25 feet with another good blood splatter. One thing you notice for sure is that they are absolutely not footprints. It is as if three snake-like trails, each individual, kind of seem to be intertwining and heading in the same direction. But you with that you definitely pick up the trail and know which way to go.
With that roll, could I potentially try to tell the difference if it's three different creatures or if it's one creature making these trails?
From what you could tell, it originated in three different beds. This like blood splatter, and it looks like this blood splatter has trailed off, but it is a very like a serpentine trail, not footprints, but a long, curly, bloody path, similar to very snake-like.
And
So
could I potentially, being from these parts and knowing the animal life around here, could I potentially see with the indentation and the trail of maybe how big or how heavy the snake was, like the difference between like maybe a python versus an anaconda type, or you know,
I'd say with that 28, these three trails, you would guess somewhere between 2 and 4 feet. Three separate creatures between 2 and 4 feet.
good.
Locris, as Lorelei, is pretty wise and insightful. She steps over to the room entrance and pulls the curtain closed, offering you all a bit of privacy. And Lorelei looks to you and she says, I could kind of tell from the second I saw you. There's something about the Shadowfell about you. I imagine you have a trick or two communicating.
Yeah, I do. And Locris will go to the head of the nearest one and release a deep breath as a tendril of smoke uh, comes out of his mouth down into the mouth of the nearest one, causing its chest to kind of puff up as I cast Speak with Dead on it.
All right, hit me with the language of Speak with Dead real quick, and then we'll move forward.
You grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions you pose. Must still have a mouth and can't be undead. It fails if it was to target the spell within the last 10 days. Until the spell ends, which is 10 minutes, you can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy. The spell doesn't return the creature's soul to its body, only its animating spirit. Thus, the corpse can't learn new information, doesn't comprehend anything that has happened since it died, and can't speculate about future events. So I could basically only ask it about the past.
Okay, yeah, as you kind of breathe life into this being, the raspy breath and the movement of the chest as if it is taking breath once again, just kind of like loudly breathes, awaiting your questions.
What happened to you?
I was asleep, and something burst out of me. It was buried deep. It chewed its way right out of my chest in seconds.
Did you get a glimpse before you passed?
was dark. I was asleep.
Was it? Were you infected by anything other than the disease running rampant?
Not as far as I am aware.
And then I'll look at Logos's mom. Do you have any other questions?
She stays pretty silent. She just shakes her head no.
Would I ask 3 questions?
Yeah.
What was your name?
Rohinathir.
What's your favorite color?
Baby blue. And with that, he collapses back to his former corpse-like state.
I just had that image from the movie of the corpse. No, that's only 4 questions. Come back. So I had to throw out 2 more.
Good man. Good man.
Baby blue. That is indeed a fine color. Rest in peace, sir. As he goes back to being dead.
All right. So it seems as though this disease may be more than just an infection. Perhaps it somehow lays an egg that hatches and eats you from the inside until, well, this.
Lorelei ponders this, and well, I need to consult a spell book and begin some ritualistic casting. I can't have this happen to anyone else. I must go. I have quite a bit to do.
All right, we're done fucking around. Let's go to this temple and figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I definitely think time is of the essence, if it wasn't already.
Okay, yeah. So, Tardok kind of leads you guys back down the ladder, and she says, my people will maintain the perimeter as always. And she kind of leads you guys. Well, I guess Logos actually found the tracks. Logos leads you guys following this bloody snake squiggle, a trio of them, through the jungle proper. Tardok stops at the perimeter of Xanathia with a handful of guards and begins kind of giving orders, setting up a good perimeter, a better perimeter, one that won't let people from the inside escape either, at least not unnoticed. And so as she goes about that and Logos leads you guys deeper into the jungle, following the tracks is pretty easy after a while once you know what you're looking for. But you notice within 20, maybe 30 minutes of travel, the jungle goes from this vibrant green and alive place where you hear crickets and critters and all kinds of nature and wildlife. Not only does it get eerily quiet, but at a certain point, it looks like the foliage around the trees and the bushes and the various jungle vines and shrubs and herbs and things, they're all begin to pale. It's kind of subtle at first, but the closer you get to this temple, it looks as if all of the plant life has faded to a white. It is no longer green. The trees, the leaves, the grasses, everything fades to this kind of white color, and it looks frail. It looks sickly. And as you guys kind of approach this temple, there is definitely the smell of rot and decay in the air. But as you approach this temple, not far off, maybe an hour's jaunt from the outskirts of Xanathia, You can tell right away the jungle is, there is some sort of blight. There is some sort of sickness affecting the plant life in your immediate vicinity. And as you approach this stone structure centered in the center of this little jungle ridge, it looks to be covered in vines, but they are black, undulating vines, very similar to the veins you see in the people in Xanathia. This once concrete structure probably had some beautiful stained glass windows and maybe even multiple entrances at one point, but has essentially been entirely consumed by this giant glob of black, writhing, pulsating kind of vines that seem to spread out in all directions for several feet around this structure. However, the main entrance, this massive stone archway, is still unblocked. It looks as if the front doors still have access. As you guys approach, I'm going to just drop a pick in the feed real quick. As you guys approach, let's see here, you guys see a few things. One that this seems to be like, at least from what you could tell, this building is not really that big as you kind of approach. And aside from the undulating mass, there is an altar in front of there's like these main two double doors. In front of these main double doors is like an altar. It looks like an outside ceremonial area, because near this altar there is also a fountain. Looks for, here, let me just drop a pic in the feed. It'll be easier for me to explain it if I'm not doing a couple things at once. Skadoosh. Okay, so you guys will be walking up on the south side of this map. So essentially, you walk up to a fountain. This fountain is filled with a red viscous liquid. To the left and right of this fountain are like bleachers. They are, various seating. To the north of that little pool of this red viscous liquid is like a stone altar, and behind this stone altar is what appears to be a large set of double doors. Now, you guys are kind of approaching from the south, so this part of the building actually still appears to be stone. This is like a little inlet. This is like an outside ceremonial area. And what you see, aside from this kind of a barren stone altar and a fountain that is filled with this red viscous liquid, these bleachers to the left and right are all smashed to shit. They are broken and splintered in every single section. And Logos, with your survival check, you follow these three red squiggles, and they lead you right up to this fountain. It would appear that whatever made this trail dove into this fountain. So you guys kind of walk upon this scene, and tell me how you guys kind of proceed from here.
Well, first things first, Logus would want to make a perception check to see if there's any fuckery afoot. See if I see any of these corrupted creatures that we've heard so much about, or the snakes that we've been trailing. Just anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, yeah, give me a perception check.
It's a 19 total.
All right, give me a second. That's a 5 on the good old hide check. Behind this altar, you get a view. You spot somebody crouching, somebody trying to remain undetected. From what you can tell, looks to be human. A humanoid in a brown robe, crouched down on the other side of this altar.
If he's crouched down, then I would assume that he saw us come in. Then, right?
You can assume whatever you'd like.
How far are we standing from, like, on this picture? Are we? I mean, I'm assuming we're probably still a good distance away, or
Yeah, I mean the jungle's pretty thick, but I would say you're probably not even on this map yet. You are still,
probably what?
15, 20 feet away from even being
15,
on the
20
map.
feet away from like that pool at the southernmost tip.
Correct.
Okay. What I want to do is not. Oh wait, no. 60 feet. Okay. Um, Gladiator's gonna clutch his amulet to Paylor, and his eyes kind of glow a golden light, and he's just gonna kind of look around, and I'm gonna cast a divine sense. So, as an action, you can detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the hollow spell, or know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. So I'm just kind of trying to see if I see. I'm not sure if
Give me
one.
that list one more time.
Yes. Uh, Anything affected by the hollow spell. Hollow, HALLOW. Um, and any celestial, fiend, or undead.
Okay, none of those ping. You get a clear sense. But with
Yep.
your sense evil attribute, you get a fucking mega waft of some super dank evil coming off of these temple doors. Like you're not within 60 feet of it or whatever, but even so, you get like a powerful sense of evil radiating from this place.
All right,
Okay, Gladiator. I know that you can't see it, and he's gonna like tell everyone to stop and like kind of slow down a little bit. um, there's a fucking guy there behind that altar there. Um, did you sense any evil from that guy?
I didn't pick up on any sort of like undead or anything like that, but something behind that door. I mean, I guess we kind of knew a little bit about this going into it, but whatever's behind
Yeah,
that door is not good. It's
yeah,
really, really fucking bad.
yeah, Gladiator. Yeah, the door, obviously, but there's a fucking guy crouching down right there. Now, my question to y'all is, more than likely, nothing out here is safe, right? So I should probably fucking shoot this guy before he attacks us, right? Any
Um,
objections?
wait, hold on there. Just hold up just one second. If he points the guy out to me, can I see him now? Or is he still kind of like ducked down behind Glader, just has like laser vision?
I will say if he points him out to you, you could for sure see him.
All right. If he points it out, I'll use divine sense again and like look directly at this guy to see if I get a undead or a celestial
My love.
or uh fiend ping off of him.
And once again, no pings. You do sense a fuck ton of evil coming from the temple door.
All right, yeah, so he's definitely not undead or anything like that, but I mean that doesn't necessarily make him good, but I mean, I guess it's up to the group decision what we want to do with that information.
Locris rolls his eyes and just shuts out, "Hey, you better stand up. You're about to get shot."
For what it's
Logus,
worth,
not
I'm pretty sure
Logus.
we were told that we can't reason with these druids, and we know we have to clear the temple. So, and Renwick loads his hand crossbow.
Yeah, Logus. Since it's technically maybe a surprise thing, Logus is gonna knock an arrow and hold it. And if this dude does anything hostile towards us, I'm gonna release my attacks on him.
And I'm gonna
Okay, sure.
apply the Ettercap venom to a handful of bolts.
I'm gonna hold a sacred flame. Also has a distance, a range of 60 feet. So I'm gonna hold a sacred flame, and if that guy does anything, I will also cast sacred flame at the same time as Logus launching his arrow. Not that it's probably not needed, but yeah.
Blade will kind of yell out, "Oh, listen, you'll be made holy very quick if you don't come out with your arms up."
After calling out, it seems to startle the man. And he jumps to his feet. Before you, you see a very pale man with a brown robe and a brown quarterstaff, a bald, pale head, and black ichor just pours from his eyes at such a rate where it appears that he is crying constantly. He blinks furiously, but it is clear that he is blind, and he calls out to you, "Oh, health and help, safety here. Bathe in the pools." He gestures to the fountain of viscous crimson liquid. "Bathe in the pools, drink from the fountain. Health and safety assured."
Sacred flame.
He's possessed.
Fuck that.
Light him up.
Yes, that's a dexterity saving throw for sacred flame. DC 14.
Okay, as you guys kind of unleash fury upon this particular individual, your magics and ranged weapons seem to have no effect as they pass straight through him. And as doing so reveals this particular man to, in fact, be an illusion. The illusion never seems to recover once you guys attack it. It seems broken, transparent, not quite as forceful or it's more ethereal than physical now. But it repeats itself. "Oh, come, safety and health. Bathe in the pools. Safety guaranteed. Drink from the fountain." But it is in fact an illusion. It just kind of
As
continues.
he does that, Logus is gonna shoot the illusion in the mouth so he can't keep repeating that shit.
Yeah, with enough outside disturbance, you are able to just kind of dispel this illusion entirely. So, illusion dispelled. How do you guys kind of proceed from here?
I don't know if it's just me, but you're kind of breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out just a little. We can still tell what you're saying, but it's still cutting a little bit.
Okay, one sec. Let me disconnect, reconnect again.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of that fountain. Especially Logus. You said you saw the trail of blood leading up into that.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, the trails that we've been tracking led straight into the fountain.
All right. Um, Yeah. Oh, I have an idea. Okay, so just go with me on this. We know there's something bad in the fountain. We can't attack it unless we draw it out. I have this spell here that I got ready for today. I can protect one person for a minute. So anyone who tries to attack him, it just doesn't, it can't make contact, can't hurt them, and it's forced to try and trying to attack someone else or just you know lose their momentum. So what if I do this spell on someone? They walk up to the fountain, maybe try and get the whatever's in there's attention, but we're hiding off in the corner, and then once it springs out to try and attack, we light it up.
Or, just hear me out. Logus is going to cast erupting earth on the fountain.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Fuck yeah, dude. Hit me with the language of that spell real quick, but yeah, that's a great idea.
Choose a point you can see on the ground within range. A fountain of churned earth and stone erupts in a 20-foot cube centered on that point. Each creature in that area must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 3d12 bludgeoning damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. Additionally, the ground in that area becomes difficult terrain until cleared. Each foot square, each 5-foot square portion of the area requires at least 1 minute to clear by hand. So if I can see within the fountain, I'll center it. If not, I'll just put it on the edge of it so it encompasses the entire fountain, the 20-foot cube.
Okay, so you just erupt the earth. You just explode the earth underneath this fountain. This stone and possibly even portions of it are porcelain. This whole fucking thing just explodes. This red viscous liquid just flies in every direction and begins kind of like raining down upon the area. The entire fountain is just destroyed as this eruption of rock kind of breaks out in every direction. But falling down with this viscous material, this very thick blood-like liquid. I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll some damage there, Logos.
So I rolled 3d12, right? And I shit you not, I rolled a 1, a 3, and a 1 for 5 damage.
Well, it's your lucky day because you didn't really have to get too high. You explode this fountain, sending stone shrapnel and this like blood-like liquid everywhere, and bouncing around, flopping in several different directions, are these large, look to be aberrations, but something in particular. It's just a large, mutated. It looks to be tadpole. It has got a large head with very sharp rows of teeth and mandibles, and a very narrow tail. And there's about a dozen of them in the fountain, and half of them have, between the exploding fountain being tossed into the air and then landing on the ground, half of them die, and the other half of them are on death's door, like maybe a single hit point, as but essentially there are like a handful of these flopping, gasping for air, recently damaged, large aberrational tadpoles. They're roughly 2.5 feet in length, and their head is about the same size as that of like a bullywug. And in fact, these tadpoles are roughly half the size of a bullywug.
See, Gladil, sometimes you don't have to overthink things. Maybe just blowing up the fountain is the best path forward.
You realize what these are, don't you, Lucas? These are your goddamn tadpoles. Your bullywugs hit you children.
I don't know if that tracks, but you may be onto something. You know, if that turns out to be true, that's my bad. But I don't think we should be jumping to conclusions just yet because these things seem a little different. I don't remember bullywugs bursting out of anyone's chest.
But at least we have a little bit of an idea what we're potentially up against inside there.
Also, while we're talking, Logus is gonna pop off a couple arrows on whatever. Let make sure none of these things escape. Potentially finding another source to escape or wreak havoc somewhere else.
Yeah, Renwick would definitely help you pick those off.
Okay, yeah, it's not hard. They're mostly dead after the explosion of the fountain.
Once they take out the little freaky giant tadpoles, can Glader walk up and inspect the door because he was feeling some bad juju coming from it. So I don't want to. Maybe not necessarily like physically inspect it, but maybe kind of delve into his quote unquote paladin senses to see if he can maybe figure out what this evil presence he's feeling is. If that's something I can roll for, I'm not quite sure.
So the hallowed spell refers to specifically desecrated areas, correct?
Yeah, so like let me look it up to get the exact definition. But yeah, I think it's like desecrated holy places. Uh, Google, help me. Okay. Uh, yes. So the Hallow spell, you touch a point and infuse an area around it with holy or unholy power. Area can have a radius of 60 feet. Spell fails. Don't need to worry about that. Celestial elementals, fae, fiends, and undead can't enter the area, nor any such creatures charm, frighten, or possess creatures within it. Second, you can bind an area effect to the area, extra effect to the area. There's a big list of things you can.
Okay, yeah, that's not what I thought it was.
Okay,
Go ahead and just give
yeah,
me
that's not what I thought it was
go ahead and
either.
give me just a raw religion check.
Yeah, I definitely thought of something different as well. Alright, raw religion check. For a paladin, my religion is fucking garbage.
I know, man. For clerics and paladins being religious based, you know, uh, characters and having religion being an intelligence based stat is kind of silly when both
Yeah,
are wisdom or charisma.
yeah, I think. Yeah, I never understood why religion was intelligence based either. I think it should be wisdom based. But I rolled a 10 and I have a plus 0 because I'm not smart. So that's just a 10 religion.
Even with I mean, you're not 100% on maybe the ramifications of this, but even with a 10, you are aware. The front doors of this particular temple at one point had the symbol of Farlongen placed upon them. This is kind of like the moon overlooking the road, but in what appears to be blood, the symbol of Nerul has been drawn, the skull and the scythe.
Logris, I think you're right. This new rule is becoming a big problem.
Yeah, he's
You know,
desecrating this place for sure.
I don't think it's a coincidence that we keep bumping into them in different parts of the country.
All right.
So should we go knock on the door?
Before we knock, maybe Renwick, would you maybe want to do a little recon mission, seeing if maybe there's a back door or something in here? I mean, Gladiator did say he sensed an insane amount of evil on that door. Maybe it's not best to go up and knock.
Well, we can certainly take a lap around the building, but something tells me we're almost certainly going to have to go through the front door. That being said, I mean, it's worth a lap.
Logus is going to use his cloak of the arachnid to walk up the side of the temple and get on the roof, and see if I can find another entrance into this temple.
Okay, yeah. Give me investigation checks, both of you. If you're gonna run a recon around it, Renwick, and Logos, you're going over the top. Logos, you realize pretty quickly that this is roughly the only stone you can see, and when you get on top, it is mostly like just these black vines that spread out in all directions that seem to be undulating, and they react to your touch. When you step on them, they move and shrivel and bend and things, and you can feel like them pulsing under your feet.
Just out of curiosity, Logus is going to do the produce flame cantrip and throw it on these vines to see if they catch fire.
They do not. They melt, but they do not catch fire. They shrivel back from the area, and just kind of a bit of black goo, a bit of black ichor where the fire was.
What's underneath the part that I burned? Is it more vines?
It would appear that the vines have encased the stone structure. They are anywhere from several inches to several feet thick, depending on kind of where you are.
Logus is going to shout out to Renwick. Oh shoot, you needed an investigation, right?
Was Renwick, are you running around the temple?
That was a 14 investigation.
Yeah, I was going to try to get a perception check around the outside of the temple.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check. Logos with a 14, as you're kind of looking over these vines. You're familiar with this temple in a sense that you've probably seen it in the past. You know that there are other doors and windows on this structure. However, these undulating black vines seem to cover the entire structure, all but the front door. So where the windows and doors are, you're not entirely sure, but you're pretty confident that they are covered with these thick black undulating vines. Renwick, on a 27 perception, you find 7 bodies just on the outskirts of this temple, in various, not far, only a stone's throw from it, in various directions of it, and all 7 of these bodies seem to be kept in a similar way of the ones you saw at the medicine tree. All of them look to have their chests burst out, like something clawed or gnawed its way out of their chests. But there are several robed men, the corpses of several robed men in the nearby vicinity, but alas, kind of how Logos had discovered, there does not appear to be an obvious way into this structure aside from the front door, unless you guys are willing to remove quite a bit of these black undulating vines.
Could I? I'll pull out my rapier or like summon it through my tentacles, and as I walk up to these bodies, can I just kind of use the rapier so I don't touch them directly, and like flip their robes around, see if there's anything of note that they might have had on their person.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
That is a 3.
The couple of bodies you do pat down seems to be just robes, like full commando and brown robes on top. That's it. Yeah, very humble folk.
Yeah, I'll just make my way back to the party then and just say, I assume you found the same thing, but it looks like these vines have covered up any entrances that might be there aside from the front. And there's about 7 more of those cloaked figures, or robed figures around the building. This chest wounds are the same as what we saw back in the medicine tree. So these creatures have clearly been populating pretty quickly. He kind of like looks down at the 12 scattered tadpole creatures.
They're various sizes. One's only about a foot. One's pushing 3. Most of them are 2, 2.5. But yeah, definitely creepy. So, how do you guys proceed from here? You've done a bit of recon. Tell me how you proceed.
Logus, are you still able to kind of shroud us with that spell of yours? At the very least, it might be useful to get through the front door, since it doesn't seem like we're going to find an alternate.
Yeah, of course I can give us a little extra something so we're not easily detected.
Should I push this door open?
I guess before we go in, I'll cast Pass Without a Trace on everyone here.
Alright, so you guys trying to enter stealthily then?
I mean, it lasts for an hour, so I mean, if anyone needs to be stealthy, it's there. Gladiator, push it open. So, well, you know what, Renwick should probably check this thing for traps just in case.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. And that's 28 perception for traps on the door.
As far as you could tell, no traps.
Well, I've scoured it. I've memorized every speck of dust and blight, and it seems fine. And he pats Gladiator on the ass and steps back, but like 15 feet back.
Gladiator's gonna kind of walk up and tap his holy symbol on his chest. All right, Paylor, now might be a good time to give me some extra protection. I don't want something bursting out of my chest. And he's gonna try and slowly push the door. Is it, first of all, can I tell if it's a push or a pull?
It has rings upon the outside, so you would assume it is a pull.
Okay, well, he will then slowly try and pull the doors open.
And they are heavy, sturdy doors, but they do give. However, it comes with a loud creak and the groan of wood. And as you guys kind of open these doors, what you see in front of you is sort of like a foyer. So you look inside, and it's like a carpeted area. There look to be some sort of like a like paintings, canvas paintings, and things that were on the wall. There's some furniture for like some sitting furniture, a few desks and tables and things. And this area is actually carpeted. It's got like a bit of, or at least all this was. What you are looking at now is like the ruins of what used to be a nice foyer, a little congregating spot for the people either before or after ceremonies. The carpet is all torn up. The chairs and tables have been smashed and bashed into splinters. The canvas art on the wall has been ripped from it, destroyed, had the frames broken, and massive, slash marks through it all. The room itself is somewhat in disarray. There is one door as you kind of enter. There is one door on the left wall. We'll call that the western wall. There's one door on the western wall. There are two doors on the eastern wall. And there is once again a large set of double doors straight across from you all. Into like a main hall type of area. However, most of the furniture that's not been beaten to a pulp and is now just splinters laying in debris. Tables, chairs. It looks like stuff may have been brought from other rooms. It looks like maybe an armoire and the better part of a bed. These various bits of wood debris have been used to block the northernmost two doors. So I dropped a pic in the feed, but so once again, aside from the main door, as you guys kind of walk in, to your left there is a door, to your right there is a door. Across the room there is a door blocked by debris, and there is also a second door on the right, blocked by debris. So might sound confusing, but essentially. So you guys are in the main foyer. There are several entrances and exits from this point, and the room has clearly been just absolutely trashed and ransacked. So tell me how you proceed.
With all this chaos and stuff, would I be able to maybe try to see any tracks or footprints or whatever that could have potentially caused this and which way they may have left?
Yeah, give me a survival check.
That's a 22 survival.
So from what you could tell with this survival check, this is a high traffic area even after the chaos. As you kind of look around, it would appear there are several dozen footprints going in pretty much every direction. And you can tell this because the debris at the northernmost door and the we'll call it northeasternmost door, sorry, on the floor, seeping under this debris, this blockage, this barricade, water, putrid, kind of murky, black water, and dozens of footprints in water litter this room and go in every direction.
So what are we thinking, fellas? I think it's weird that there's rooms blocked up if this place has been controlled by the corrupted for a while. Does that mean they're trying to? Should we check those doors or should we go to the open doors?
Just give me one sec. Let me try something real quick. Um, and I'm gonna not use the divine sense this time because the actual spell itself is a little bit better. I'm gonna cast first level spell of detect evil and good. I'll drop the verbiage in the chat. But so I can detect any aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet, and I know where they're located. I also know if there's an object or place within 30 feet that has been magically consecrated or desecrated, and it can permeate most barriers, but is blocked by a foot of stone, inch of common metal, thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wooden dirt. And it's a concentration spell that lasts for 10 minutes. So I'm just going to take a slow lap around the outside, like around the walls of this room, and just see if I pick anything up within 30 feet on the opposite side of the doors or the walls.
Wow, okay, yeah, for sure. As you make a sweep around the room, you definitely, first of all, this whole temple just reeks of desecration. Even the front door, the desecrated holy symbol on the front door. For sure, some desecration like fuckery around. And though when you wander close to the doors that are barricaded, you don't get any pings, but you sense several moving targets on either side of both of those doors. And they are aberrations in nature.
Gotcha. And that's the only, other than the desecrated area, those are only like um, creatures I'm sensing is on the opposite ends of the blocked doors.
Not the blocked doors. You have doors up
Oh,
to your immediate left and right that are
unblocked.
not blocked, and
Okay.
there seem to be several aberration type
Okay.
entities on either side of those doors.
Okay.
But you get nothing, no pings from the doors that are barricaded.
Okay, got those mixed up. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna, after making his circle, he's gonna like shudder down his spine and make his way back to the group. All right, so yeah, this whole place is fucked. But I definitely can tell there's, I don't know exactly what they are, but they had this similar feel to those tadpoles outside on either side of these doors that aren't barricaded. There's several on each end. So if we're going through one of those doors, we got to be prepared for a fight.
Could we potentially draw them into the bigger room?
I mean, someone can open the door and wait for them to funnel through. Like a little it's called. Can't
We
think
could
of the
always throw something at the door. Like, think of it as a faraway knock.
I mean, that's also a good idea. He can stands in the corner. I mean, if we all huddle over by the barricaded doors where we know nothing's going to be coming through, we can chuck something at one of these unbarricaded doors and wait for something to come through.
Fellas, Renwick, Locust, Blade, any ideas? Any objections?
Nope, I'm
Um,
ready to get this party started.
Yeah, it's really just a matter of which way do we want to go, but either way, we're killing something.
I have a feeling we're going to have to go through both doors eventually.
so this may have been cleared up already, but as far as like the rubble on those northernmost doors, is that like intentional, or was it just kind of broken down?
Give me an insight check.
17?
It looks to be not only intentional, but like you see some of the debris that is just kind of laying around the room. You know, some of the smashed bits and pieces that didn't make it to this barricade pile. It looks like in some cases a lot of these like tables and chairs and even little armoires and things were broken in such a way so that they could be more effectively used for the barricade. It's definitely something intentional.
Well, it's obvious they're trying to keep people out or something in there. But I think our best bet is to go through either one of these doors, but I think it might be best to kind of funnel them through.
I was thinking about that, Blade. If the corrupted were here, right? Why would they not clear the debris and get in there? And if it is to keep something in, then is the corrupted afraid of something in there? Or I'm still very confused about that part.
Hell, it's not good, whatever it is. But I say we pick a door and find out what's on the other side.
Should we flip a coin, or does anybody have any preference, left or right?
So Chris is going to walk up to the door on the west and open it.
Glader's gonna reach out, seeing this, and touch Blade. I need you to help me keep these guys up. Keep them safe, and cast protection of evil and good, or protection from evil and good on Blade. It's a concentration spell, 10 minutes. I'll put the language in the chat so I don't waste more time.
Okay.
But you get some
Just
buffs.
remember you got a concentration spell up and running.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so Locris, you open the door and it opens quietly and swiftly. And as you look into this room, there are rows and rows of bookshelves. And that's all you can see from the doorway. There's lots of rows of bookshelves. Looks like bookshelves adorn most of the walls as well.
Do any of the titles jump out at me?
You're gonna have to get a little closer to investigate, I think. Yeah. This is from the doorway POV.
I'll come back for it later. I'll shut the door and just say, books. I don't think they're afraid of knowledge, apparently.
I mean, I definitely sense something on the other side, but if they didn't jump out at us first thing, let's try the other door.
Okay, who tries the other door?
All right, I guess I'll get this one. Logus will go to open the door.
The door is locked. Logos, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
Great. Should have known. I don't know why I don't ever check for traps. That's a dirty 20.
So you're pretty nimble and able to kind of get out of the way, but as you try this door handle, a spring-loaded it just kind of bounces off the wall from a nearby hidden panel. Spring with a needle fastened to the end, coated in some sort of liquid, but alas, as it tries to give you a good pinprick, you are too quick. However, your attempt at trying the door does seem to leave a dull jingling sound on the other side of the door, ever so briefly.
Well, that might have got their attention.
Okay, so this thing's trapped. Renwick, do you maybe want to try lockpicking this thing?
Well, at this point, you've already told him we're here. Why don't you just knock?
Because I'm scared of what's on the other side. I'm nervous.
That's fair. Well, I'll pick the lock, but I'm certainly not going to be the one to open the door. He just walks over and starts working on the lock.
Glader will walk up behind you. I got you, buddy.
All right, give me a sleight of hand check.
28.
You pop the lock with ease.
And he yet again swats Glader on the ass and steps about 15 feet back, just in case. We'll say 10.
Gladiator, Gladiator's gonna feel a mage hand on his shoulder and look at, and Blade will be like, "If do you want me to open that door from a little safer distance?"
Oh, yeah, that might be a better idea. And he'll stand back 10 feet with Renwick.
And Blade will go ahead and just kind of gently either push the door open or pull it open, whichever way it goes.
And Gladiator will still feel a mage hand on his shoulder from
It
me.
doesn't move. Oh, another one.
I forget that I have mage hand.
Can we just both leave him on him?
And he's just got two mage hands on his shoulders.
So, as you push the door open, it opens with a smooth, quiet, quickly, and just kind of revealing a dark room. As you kind of, I guess, tell me how you proceed from here. Give me a perception check. Who opened the door? Logos? Renwick?
Blade opened it with a mage hand, so we're all pretty.
Correct. Well, if you guys
far
are all
away.
standing back, as if you open the door from a distance, looking in, you see chains and a couple of kegs across the room, but you'd have to venture closer to see anything more. So from across the room, not at the doorway, tell me how you guys proceed.
Logos is using his mage hand to rub Gladiator's earlobes.
I don't know if I really have ears like people do, but Glader's gonna turn to Locris, be like, I feel like you're about as sick of this bullshit as I am. You wanna come up there and look through this door with me?
Yeah, why not?
And Glader's
Well,
gonna stomp up to the
fellas,
door.
I should go with you. I mean, Gladiator, no offense. I mean, maybe Locris and I should go. I mean, you couldn't see your own balls.
I'm
If it
fairly
wasn't
certain
attached to you.
everybody in the party has decent eyes, aside from you, not to like rub it in or anything.
Yeah, but you
A
got
fast-moving shadow that none of you quite are perceptive enough to put eyes on, even Logos, slams the door.
Blade's gonna be like, "Was that you
The
again?"
door is now closed.
Look, see, we took too long to go in. It got its feelings hurt. I blame Gladiator.
Glader peed a little bit.
Can Blade check to see if that was his own shadow? Just he's freaking out.
Blade, give me a perception check.
$24.
So I mean, it's kind of a low light room. The main doors are open, so it's kind of letting sunlight in. But you definitely have low light vision. Blade, you swear you saw your shadow like dive from the door, and as you kind of look, he is just playing like real nonchalant. You know, he's like kind of kicking his feet and trying to look innocent. However, he only does this when you are the only one looking. As far as the rest of your party can tell, you were just glaring at your own normal ass shadow. But he does look guilty.
Are you fucking kidding me? This is a high stress moment and you're pulling pranks like this. Are you kidding?
Blade,
No.
are you okay? Who are you yelling at, Blade?
No, no, no. Locust, this is between me and him. You. You. And I'll walk up to the door.
Shadow mimics you perfectly.
All right,
Uh,
fuck
It's
it.
him.
it's nothing. And guys, it was just this. It was him. I think we're all right.
All right, buddy. So this is a stressful situation. Don't worry about it. Glader's gonna walk up, um, hold his sword at the ready, and open the door again.
All right, at the door proper, as you creak the door open, Gladier, it is a pretty dark room. Go ahead and give me a perception check, unless you have some sort of light source I'm unaware of.
No, but I have advantage on perception because of my sentinel shield. So would it just be like a straight roll?
Yeah.
All right. That's a natural one.
Gladier, from the doorway, as you look in, you think you could make out a few barrels and crates across the way, but the lighting is limited.
Guys, it's fine in here. I think it was just the wind or something. Come on. And he takes a step into the room. Still at the ready, still on guard, but steps just one step into the room.
Yeah, as you step into the room, kind of with your one, I think you're essentially kind of blindly looking for a light switch at this point. It's a dark room. There's not a lot you can do without a bit of illumination or maybe one of your dark seeing allies.
Locust would have went in with him.
Yeah, I think Logan would have for sure followed in.
Apparently,
Yeah, Renwick would have stuck right with everybody.
I would
apparently,
chase my shadow in.
for sure. Opening the door somehow got dust in Gladier's eye, so he he just can't fucking put it together. So as you guys walk in, what you see, you see a lot kind of all at once. What you see is like kind of like the remnants of like a kitchen slash apothecary type of situation. There looks to be like several barrels and crates in this room full of dry goods and also like it's set up kind of like a cafeteria. There's some like picnic table style benches and stuff like that, but kind of similar to before. Almost all of this stuff has been smashed and destroyed. There, lots of these tables and various pieces of wood and things, all splintered up. And so around the room, aside from some barrels and crates, there are some like chains and things that look to be holding humanoid corpses from hanging from the ceiling. And as you guys kind of enter, you do you take all of this in this like smashed up apothecary. In various points of this room, there appear to be almost like nests. Seven different like nests, and it's made of like debris and splintered wood. It's just kind of like basically garbage. It's crudely made at best. But standing within each of these nests, glaring at the door, and now the party who has freshly entered the room, are these toad-like people, these slad. They are roughly 12 feet in height, and they are these large carnivorous toad-like entities. You guys notice in particular as they stare at you quietly as if they are waiting for your arrival, they have these very vicious bone-like claw extremities that come out of the back of their hands. These beefy 12-foot giant toads kind of look down on the party as they enter. And that is probably where we're going to have to put a bookmark in our tale for the time being, fellas.
What the fuck is it with the amphibians, man?
They're after that costume you got now.
Damn.
A blue slod, if you will.
What the fuck is that?
Times.
We're gonna die.
So, yeah, that was definitely... You guys are too much. You guys crack me the fuck up. I have no idea what you guys are going to do from week to week. You guys keep me on my toes for sure.
Dude, those things are fuck. Are they that like? Are they massive, or is that picture just?
No, they're massive. They're like 12 feet in height. They are definitely large creatures. These guys are roughly the same size as ogres. They're big, beefy shit brick houses, and you notice several of them in this dilapidated apothecary / kitchen.
It's fucking claws.
I know, they definitely have some dope Wolverine claws.
Oh boy.
Fuck. Are we good for next week?
I think next week's a normal week, and then we're off the week of Christmas, and then back on the week after.
Well, the week after is New Year's Day.
Oh wait, that's right. Yeah, we talked about maybe doing a Thursday session instead.
Yeah,
I mean, that's up to you guys because it's New Year's Day, which usually you're just hungover through the day rather than being Eve.
my parents are actually coming down now from like the 30th to the 2nd. So they were celebrating Christmas with them and then doing New Year's with them. So I'd probably want to be able to do the first just because they'll be here.
All right. I can't. Oh, I could do New Year's Day. Yeah, that works for me if it works for you guys. I just can't do New Year's Eve. But
No, I can't do New Year's Day.
Yeah, New Year's Day might be tough.
January 2nd. I mean,
oh wait,
well, I mean,
sorry. Yeah, I looked at the calendar wrong.
yeah. I mean, if you guys want to run that week, like do a Miriam session, and then I can hop back in on the 8th. But I'm not quite sure if I really have availability for that first week in January.
I mean, so to everyone. I mean, a 2 week break for the holidays isn't exactly unfounded. I mean, it
Yeah.
would give Sean a little mental break, give us a little break for the holidays. But I mean, it's up to everyone. I'm good for New Year's Day, but we want to take that little 2 week end of the year break and start fresh next month. January 8th, that could work. It's up to y'all.
If anything, do you guys want to aim for like anybody that can make a New Year's Day session? We'll just plan on that intentionally being some bullshit night. Just like whoever can make it, so there's no pressure on it. But if we're all itching to roll dice, then we'll just do something stupid.
About if you're willing to run it, Dakota, a Cards Against Humanity session.
Yeah, I would be totally down for that. And if we, if there's only like one or two of us, I'm pretty sure that Katrina or my brother, or if you guys have anybody you want to bring in, we could always find a couple people to fill slots if we need to. But we could just aim for that to be a no pressure bullshit night, and whoever shows up shows up.
If Monica ends up not having poker that night, she might jump on if we're just doing a complete fuck around session, nothing serious or with any stakes, just people being stupid.
Yep. I'll come up with something that's pretty open ended, and we'll just see where you guys take it.
I'm gonna throw like, if you have time to put something together, RFS should still be on the table. Just if we're fucking around.
I do love some good RFS. I mean, we could take a vote between Cards Against Humanity, One Shot, or RFS.
I only do RFS if someone makes a rolling for shoes overcooked type game. That would be fun.
Ooh, that could actually be
one of
pretty
you
interesting.
guys hit me with like a RFS thing that you shit? I know I was talking to one of y'all about what was like a minions based RFS.
Well, I mentioned that one that I just had like the inkling of an idea for a minions themed RFS, and it never developed beyond there. But I mean, it's an easy enough concept, and the gadgets and shit you could come up with.
Yeah, nice. All right, fellas, I'm gonna bounce. So keep in touch, man. Let's do this crazy thing again soon. We'll see if I can't kill a couple more of you guys before the holidays.
Sounds good to me. It'll give us a nice little stopping point. Hopefully, knowing us, but hopefully we get through the temple next session, and then we'll take that little break before we jump into the Feywild. So it's kind of
Which,
good.
Sean, do you want us to just do initiative now so you can jot it down at your convenience, and then we don't have to start with it?
Yeah. If you guys want to final roll some initiative, I can write it all down so we're that much more prepped for next week. Sounds good to me.
Let me pull my character sheet back up real quick.
Yeah, I believe you have a +7 to initiative.
I have a plus 25.
You have a +25 to initiative. Is that what you said?
Yep. No, I have a +1 to initiative, but I get advantage because of my shield.
Rolled a whopping 27 initiative.
I mean, I got modifiers, but I legit rolled a fucking nat 1. Like, goddamn it. You guys are going first no matter what, for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. Look at Gladiator. Above 20 on initiative. That's crazy.
No, I did that wrong. It's only a 14 initiative.
13 plus 9 plus 1.
Some crazy modifiers you got there.
Yeah, you guys don't got all that too?
Oof. It's fucking +10, but I rolled a 4.
Yeah, I rolled higher than you. It's still getting my ass handed to me.
Well, this will be an interesting one, boys.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Why is it always a fucking amphibian?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I know, right? I've managed to sneak some sort of fucked up frog creature into like every arc, from bullywugs to froghemoths to banderhobs, like,
Yeah, and some sort of fucked up frog in every arc.
The BBEG group at the end is going to be the fucking Battletoads.
Fucking monk frog people just fucking us up, dude. I'd be so Sean, dude.
I'd be down.
That would be funny.
They all look like Blade for some fucking weird reason.
We come to find out he had like multiple affairs with different bullywugs and other frog creatures, and they've been building an army.
Fuck. Thought you guys wouldn't find out.
Well, I mean, you kind of left a trail.
Yeah.
That's a tale for another day.
Yes, it is.
We need to make you merch.
That would be great. So
Double neck loot that says it's a tale for another day.
Exactly. All right, fellas, I'm out of here. You guys have a good week. Keep in touch. Let's do this crazy thing again soon, yeah?